Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Louis Smithson. We're here at the Camberley Boxing Gym. And yes, how are you, Louis?
All good, man.
And yes, he's boxing Joe Miller, who's 3-0 in Rayton on is it the 30th of November?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've done your training session today. How did you feel in your training?
Yeah, we'll do a nice little light one today. Nothing too major. I have a heavier week, so it's Saturday today, so I just have a little light one. But yeah, feel good. I'm still pretty fit and fresh because we didn't box too long ago, so yeah, feel good.
So have you been doing sparring and stuff this week?
Yeah, sparring, obviously like your road work, your strength and conditioning, all the usual boring stuff that boxers do. It's been good. Think have a good week.
Good stuff. And so you've got. How did this fight with just before we talk about the Joe fight, talk just briefly why the Nathan Brown fight's not happening.
I think he's had a sort of a family issue, so he's got to go abroad and take care of that. So they said they might look to get it in February, so I'd have to take that fight in February. So yeah, wish him sort of whatever it is, and just one of them.
Yeah. And that was meant. So hopefully that gets rescheduled for the new year once everything's sorted out. And that was going to be 6 rounds. That one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I've obviously got 2 come out. They're all 6 rounders.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel? You're going to be stepping up to 6 rounds for the first time.
Yeah, not too bad. I always spar at a minimum of 6 rounds anyway, so it's not too bad. Obviously, when you're in there under the lights, it feels a bit different. But I mean, even Gordon, like even though I do a lot of stuff, I still have like in the training room, I still feel like I probably could have done another 50 rounds. So yeah, I don't think these fights are going to be anywhere near that pace, or the opponent don't seem to be as good as what he was. So I think 6 rounds will be absolutely fine.
Would you say he's been like the toughest challenge so far?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think overall, obviously the other losses were, they had their reasons and stuff. That was a good fighter. But I think, I'd say just overall, Gordon was probably the best.
And when they fight, hopefully you should get a free ticket if you're not fighting.
I should have a free, definitely a free ringside ticket hopefully. So hopefully it's on top 10 and then might be able to me out.
Yeah, well, hopefully you might be able to fight on it as well. So that happens. And so what do you know about Joe Miller and how did this fight sort of come about?
Well, we just got offered it. The money was good. So yeah, we just sort of took it straight away. Don't actually know too much about him. There's not too much on YouTube or what. I don't really like to take a look at them anyway.
You just leave that to your coaches?
Yeah, and they'll always, you like to think these people are improving from their last ones anyway, so I just always come thinking that the fight's going to be extremely hard, and then hopefully when you get in there, it's not. So
yeah. And also, styles make fights, so because the last person he fought could fight completely different to you, so you make adaptations to your opponent, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So when I get in there after the first round, hopefully I'll get gauged what it's about. It's the same with Boardman. After the first round, I think you do everything at the kitchen sink.
He was a good amateur though, wasn't he, Danny?
Yeah, but I realised that, I think his power, he tried to blow himself out. In the first round, he tried to get me out. And then I realised.
Did he try to make a statement, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And he was saying it all build up and stuff. So I knew that first round was going to be a tough one. And then from there, I was never in sort of trouble or anything. So I found it right. So
yeah, you got out of the way a bit and you took some on the gloves quite well.
Yeah, I watched it back and a fair few. Obviously, you thought there was some good stuff, but a fair few sort of rode the shots, took the power out.
Were you happy with yourself that night?
Yeah, I was, because everyone was sort of expecting it to be sort of the same as the feed fight. Like I know inspiring stuff, like sort of how tough and durable I am, and then to get stopped with a body shot, and then obviously with a falling fight as well, which I don't really think about that one too much.
Yeah.
It was what it was. I shouldn't have never took it.
And it was like super feather or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, like 2-3 weight classes above what I should be fighting at, and stuff like that. But yeah, I go off the feed fight really. Like I just, he put me a good shot, and that was that. But sort of in the Bournemouth fight is that's what I am like. I can take the stick and I don't mind. I was never really in trouble, and that's what I think it will be like going forward.
Yeah, and of course, Joe, he's 3-0, another unbeaten opponent.
Um,
It's your fourth unbeaten opponent. No, third unbeaten opponent in a row, is it?
yeah, I think yeah. So
Matty,
Matt,
Zach,
yeah. So
sort of, yeah.
all three of them are unbeaten. But there's no point taking. I still want to test myself. I still want to be like if I'm losing to these people. I still want it to be their good fight. Like Ed Hardy, the last one. Spoke about it. He's a big prospect, and I'm managed by Sonny Edwards. So I want to be taking these fights. Their names on a big show. So
And you've got to fight the best to be the best, and that's your mentality.
I won't be one of these guys that I've said before. I won't be like a journeyman, so to speak. I'll always come to win. So at least the opponent has got that. That he's not just going to have just someone who's going to come and roll over. I'm not going to be that type of guy. I'll always come to win. But I know that the level of people I'm fighting is always going to be a tough fight, always going to be underdog. But that stimulates me in training, and at least I know that I'm fighting good people.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Joe's 3-0. I don't think he's lost a round so far in his career at the minute.
Yeah, I think he's quite a good technical guy. But I'm just going to be ready for whatever. So take it as it comes.
You don't hold me on this, but I think it might be his first 6-rounder as well.
I'm not too sure. I think maybe. Obviously, to step up. Yeah, I think it might be.
And how do you see the contest going?
I don't really, obviously, that you never like to predict, and you can't tell what's going to happen in a boxing ring. I mean, I'd love to be in there and cause an upset and knock him out in the first round. Yeah. You can never plan anything, so I'm just going to take it as it comes, each round, each minute at a time.
Is it hard to prepare for a sort of fight who you don't really know much about?
I just think in the amateurs you fight so many different styles, so that is obviously, and in the pros I think you just have to be ready for every style. So you just need to be able to adapt and fight in that way. So if you could read too much into it, and they could completely change the way they fight because you think they have a full count.
You've had quite a bit of notice of this one.
Yeah. So like they could have changed their style completely. Whereas if I'm fighting more often, is what I mean. If I'm fighting more often, like I've only just fought Bournemouth, like they'll be able to see me fighting regularly and be like, right, he's fought like this, he's got like this. Whereas their fights are 3 in a year, and they'll probably have 3-4 months between. Yeah, whereas I'll be fighting more regular. So it's hard, they can completely change in that time. Whereas if you look at like what I'd be doing, you can sort of see from sort of month to month, every couple of months I've been fighting. So the difference between what they could be like could be huge. So you've got to just take them into account.
Do you enjoy, fighting sort of most sort of like getting out regularly than whether if you were, say, boxing in the home corner, you'd get less sort of fights?
Yeah, it was just such a pain doing it, like obviously with the ticket sales and stuff like that. I probably will go back to having some home fights, but it's just when you're getting offered these fights on good shows with good money or with good opponents, I think you've got to take them, otherwise you're just going to be building up a record, a padded record, and then you can just amount to nothing. So I'm taking the opportunity to go down.
Yeah, and you're boxing on a Matt Job show in Rayton, and it's a good card. I think there's like five title fights on that one.
I actually haven't really read too much into it because it's obviously further away. I haven't really sort of delved into what it is. I just know I'm going to be signing up on May and I'm part. So
and what weight's the fight in this show?
This one is, I think, is October. Well, it's like 126.
So you said you'd be campaigning at sort of super bantam and feather now.
Yeah, if there was obviously enough notice and like money and opponent, I'd go back down to bantamweight. But yeah, it'd be mainly super bantam and feather. I think that's sort of the best for me, just for naturally, like my natural walking around sort of way.
You feel more comfortable at these sort of weights, the higher ones?
Yeah, you feel more energized, you feel stronger. But like I said, over the period of time, I made bantamweight before against B, and I made it comfortable. It would just be a longer period of time where I'm fighting more often. I just think super bantam and feather is just more feasible.
And of course, you mentioned, Ed Hardy. That's on a GBM show live on Dazn. So fingers crossed. That's the week after the Miller fight, isn't it?
Yeah, so two on the bounce Saturday, then Saturday. So yeah, that's obviously a bigger show. Again on the zone, which is always good.
Some 3 title fights, Chewy Fury.
Yeah, so it's a good show. That's a good way to sort of round off the year.
Yeah. And of course, Ed Hardy 1-0. You mentioned earlier you've seen his fight. What did you make of that fight, and what do you make of him as a fighter overall?
Yeah, I watched a few highlights. He looks like pretty good, pretty like a strong guy. I think he's like a farmer or something. So pretty strong, but yeah. So it'd be interesting. That'd be a more interesting one. I'll probably take a few more risks in that one because it'd be sort of the last one before the end of the year. So if you happen to get cut and whatnot, it's not going to be too much of an issue. So I'll take a few more risks in that one. But yeah, see how they play out. But yeah, he's managed by Sonny Edwards, I believe. So he's obviously got a decent bit of background. But yeah, see how it goes.
And of course, you mentioned Sonny there. He's got a fight coming up as well on the 30th. Same night you box Miller. But who have you got with Sonny and Galal in that fight?
Sonny, I like Sonny. I've watched him from the beginning of his career. I just think he's a class boxer. And I think apart from obviously Bam, he's probably is the best in that weight division. So I think I just think Sonny's got his number in the amateurs.
Did they fight in the amateurs?
Yeah, and then I think Sonny was. He sort of got. It seems like he's going back to boxing weight, but you never know. I think he likes to look himself as well. So it's an interesting one, but I'll put Sonny for that.
Is there any other fights that you're looking forward to? Whether that's on the small hall scene or just
I'm looking forward to what I thought was a really good fight that got made with Dennis McCann and Pete.
Oh yeah, December that one.
I was actually quite surprised about that one, but I think I'll put Dennis McCann for that. I'm looking forward to that. And then obviously, the Fury music fight. That card in general is a really good card. So I'm looking forward to that.
And who have you got between Usyk and Fury, the rematch?
I'll always go with our fighter. So I'd like to see Fury do it. But it depends what Fury shows up. I think he was a bit too confident in the last one. I was thinking because he's such a bigger guy that he's going to demolish him. But he obviously found out that boxing doesn't work like that. So I think he's going to step up a bit on the next one.
I've got Usyk again.
Yeah. Like I said, you never know, especially in heavyweight boxing.
Usyk got him hurt as well last time.
Yeah, it will be interesting. It'll be a very good fight, like I said.
But hopefully, they build on the last one and make it an even better fight this time.
Yeah, so it could end up being one piece and then they fight again and make it like that.
Yeah. Who knows? So Dennis McCann, that's for the British, isn't it? That fight. I think, or European or something.
He's got the British, hasn't he, McCann? So I think he's defending.
Yeah, he is.
And then there might be another one on top of it. But I'm surprised that McGregor took it because I think he come off a loss to someone he shouldn't have lost.
He lost to O'Quinn in America, but then I think he beat Mark Leach, and then
he's gone on to.
Oh no, he beat and then he fought Brad Foster a few weeks ago, and then he stopped Brad Foster.
So I think it's just it might be a bit too soon for him maybe, but obviously he has a very, very extensive amount of background, but it's different in the pros, and Dennis has been, out quite a while now, so it'll be interesting. It will be a very good fight. I think it'll be very technical.
What did you make of I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, of course, Ryan's boxing in the tournament again, and he's boxing next week against Zion. How do you see him getting on in those ones?
hopefully he wins. I think he had a bit of a unlucky one in the last one. But yeah, hopefully he wins. He won the last tournament, so.
And the Zion fight?
Yeah, I think he's very strong line, so I think he's just going to fight the same. I think he'll fight the same for the tournament as well. Just sort of stamp his authority and get through it. But I've watched him spar more than down here. They have obviously great spars, so yeah, he's in good shape. And where he's fought a few times, well, he's fought recently, and he's got like a few coming up. I think he'll be in better shape than that. Doing the favour.
Nick Webb, he won the Southern area, didn't he?
Yeah. Nick, like I said, he's always down there, he's always in there. And he's just such a nice guy. I think he just deserves it. Hopefully, he goes into being something like the British or an English at least.
Yeah.
And, I think he deserves it.
Who do you think wins Adelaide Dakers for the English at heavyweight?
Um, I don't really pay attention to the heavyweights in apart from them, but yeah, I'm not too sure. The one heavyweight fight I'm looking forward to is Dave Fisher and Dave Allen. Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen. I think that would be a good one because it's sort of Dave Allen, I think, is underrated. And Johnny Fisher's obviously on the rise, so I think that would be an interesting fight.
Yeah, that's another interesting one. Anything else that you? Oh, yeah. Anything else you want to mention before I let you go, and then shout out the usual people that you want to?
Not really. Always good to see you. Always give me the time. So I'm really grateful for that. And then obviously we're in Canterbury Boxing Club, which is this where I spent my whole career, and I probably will spend the rest of it. With Charles, who's always getting me good fights and looking out for me. So he's sort of the main person in my career. So yeah, that's it really. Nothing. No, it's just me and Charles really. Like that's that, and I don't want a huge team of people around you just build you the same, or whatever. Like it's just we're realistic. We know what we're doing, and yeah, I don't like to complicate things. So Charles has been there from the beginning, and I'll do that right, and I'm happy with that. And thank you for taking your time, mate. Come down and have a chat.
Anytime, Louis, and from me as always, thank you for your time and good luck in your upcoming fights. Thank you.